Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hey guys, how you going? Oh, look at my freaking hair. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, how you all going? Out to lunch. Belinda Brown, how you going? I'm Kai. David Morgan. Luna, how you going? Alex, how you going? Carl, how you going? Who else have we got? Faith, how you going? Dealey, how you going? Shannon, how you going? You're feeding the chickens. Oh, they do take your time up, don't they? Oh, I love my chickens, honestly. They are fantastic. Okay, and I talk to them like babies. Like, oh, sweetie, you know. Okay, let's get into some news. Jordan B. Peterson said, and we're still required to believe that Dylan Mulvaney is real, because remember this person? The Toronto Sun says, it's Lily, Holton teacher with huge fake breasts may just be punking us after all. I remember hearing that they were accused of misogyny, so they did this, but I don't know. The story's changed, but only after photos and a story in American media do we really know what's going on here. Is Kayla Lemieux, the controversial shop teacher in Holton, just punking us all? Okay, we know it's a man with fake breasts. Now, after a New York Post story claiming to show Lemieux out in public dressed as a man, thank you, Shannon, the teacher claims none of this is true. Lemieux is saying the Post story is false, that the photo of the man is someone else, and he now claims that the breasts in which weren't there before the new school year in September are real. And the proper term is intersex, not trans. Look, intersex is a really, like, minute, okay, of the whole population. But yet, I find it funny when some people are confronted on certain things, they then claim to be intersex. Whereas trans means someone who is born one gender who identifies and is transitioning or has transitioned to another, intersex can mean a variety of things. One definition from the Cleveland Clinic is that people who are intersex have reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't fit into exclusively male-female. They used to be called hermaphrodites, okay? That was the old school name. The latest claim is stretching belief and makes ongoing claim by many that Lemieux is setting everyone up for a long troll, all the more credible. Okay. The Toronto Star said that this Lemieux person asked for money in exchange for an interview. They've turned down multiple requests for interviews. Not once has this person requested that the record be corrected to state the giant fake breasts being worn to class were real, or that they were intersex rather than trans. Now, days after New York Post publicly published photos, they said were Lemieux out in public dressed as a man, this person was giving interviews trying to set the records straight, so to speak. The condition is classified as gigantomastia, which can also be referred to as macromastia or breast hypertrophy. I can't say that. Oh, well. Lemieux told the Post. Did they have them before September last year? The diagnosis is based on verbal discussions I've had with my doctor, they said in an email last weekend. Never requested a note or letter of these findings. I don't have anything I can give you. They told Wilmington it was offensive to even ask for proof of a diagnosis of this exceedingly rare condition. And honestly, I think because people are claiming all sorts of things, you kind of need to prove it. It's the same as people going, different thing, but like some people have been going, I'm getting death threats. They never show you. Are they? It just makes me question a whole lot of stuff, guys. According to the Cleveland Clinic, there have only ever been a few hundred cases of gigantomastia diagnosed, but this person wants you to believe they are one of those such cases without proof. Sounds like a case of Dr. Google dreaming up a diagnosis to support what is already happening. A teacher wearing huge inappropriate fake breasts to class. Okay, the school board handled this situation horribly from the start, initially calling it a human rights issue and chiding parents and students with concerns. They've recently agreed to a dress code they once called a human rights violation. Look how far they hang down. Seriously? What do you think? Fake or real? I'm going fake. Parents are rightfully outraged by the board's mismanagement. Okay. It's clear that in Holton, the senior management of the school board has failed for kids and families. We already know that most schools do. They still don't have the full story here. So we'll see what happens with that one. Who knows? I've got to be careful which ones I like. The last time I did the live, I think I was recording a video. I liked the wrong posts. I put posts up to show you the opposing narrative and ended up accidentally hearting them. So I did go back and unheart them. Lionhearted said White House press secretary makes a Freudian slip. Calls Joe Biden President Obama. We know who's in charge. You ready for this one? I hope this is going to be loud enough.
Take a look at this.
So today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that, President Biden. Whoa!
I'll say.
That is news.
Whoa! I'll say for sure. That was a bit of a slip-up. I don't think it was a slip-up. She was reading off a paper, so who wrote it there? Josephine Cashman said Australians don't benefit from our natural resources as other European countries do. Rex Connor, a fierce nationalist, tried to change this with a vast strategy to buy back Australia from Rio Tinto and other royal family corporations. This is the real reason the Royals sacked Whitlam, is it? Okay, let's have a little listen. A little watch.
In Australia, Minerals and Energy Minister Rex Connor had worked tirelessly in his efforts to raise loans in the Middle East, sending and receiving telexes and making many international phone calls.
There is a lot of Australian domestic non-defence related communications being picked up. The Argus and Rhyolite satellites capable of intercepting and recording telex communications, etc. A lot of Australia's internal telephone calls and a lot of Australia's overseas calls. The arrangement is that this material, when it goes back to the National Security Agency or the Central Intelligence Agency in the United States, is supposed to be filtered out and destroyed. There is no way of checking, though, whether in fact that is done.
I went along to see Dr. Ray Klein, who was formerly Deputy Director of the CIA, former head of the State Department's intelligence service. He made some quite astounding statements. He said that civil servants in Australia would have been made aware of information damaging to the Whitlam government by people in the CIA, that opposition politicians in Australia would have been made aware of any information damaging to the Whitlam government. He used this the conditional tense form, would have been, but he used it throughout the interview, and he used it with such definiteness and repetition that he left a very clear impression that he was saying this is what happened.
I'm not going to play the whole thing, but CIA? Oh dear. Okay, what else is in here? The media blow up the loans affair into a story of intrigue, shady sheiks, and wheeling and dealing middlemen. Clearly London wouldn't have loaned us money. I'm not saying I agree with everything about the Whitlam government's policies, for example, on Aboriginal land rights, and the 25% cut in tariffs and the abandonment of subsidies for fertilisers was not good. This is not about left and right. This is about the Australian people who are being ripped off, and our political class is being compromised by these international crooks ripping us off. The ALP's leadership was fully compromised by 83 traitors, came to power under Rhodes Scholar Prime Minister Bob Hawke. Treasurer Paul Keating immediately deregulated our financial system, opening us up for dirty money and an onslaught of looting through secret British tax havens. Of course they would. So Australia doesn't even own our own resources. They're England, well, the royal family. Not England, but the royal family. Lionhearted said the greatest witch hunt of all time has a witch as the foreperson of the Georgia grand jury that's looking at allegations against Trump. Her Pinterest account is full of witchcraft symbols and magic spells. She gives jury of your peers a whole new meaning. Her media tour. What's this one? Let me have a look. Let me see if I can...
overnight. Because the foreperson on the grand... So the never-ending attempt of the left to indict former President Donald Trump basically collapsed overnight. Because the foreperson on the grand jury in Georgia investigating Donald Trump decided to go on television. And it did not work out very well. So her appearances on TV followed reporting that the grand jury in Georgia is recommending multiple indictments against President Trump, but their case against him was always bunk because it relied on the idea that Donald Trump attempted to overturn the Georgia election results, when in reality he simply asked Georgia's election officials to investigate claims of voter fraud. So as if it wasn't enough they had no criminal case to build against him, this lady decided to go on TV. She was in charge of the grand jury, in charge of collecting evidence to build a case against Trump. Let's watch how this went together in all its glory.
Personally, want to hear from the former president. I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought it would be an awesome.
As if that wasn't bad enough to your case against Trump, she decided to go on TV again. And believe it or not, it got even worse.
I think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, I mean, when it comes to 75 witnesses, like, it's not, I assume, of course, right. It's not 75 people. Would you characterize it as 20-ish people?
I can't say I counted.
More than a dozen, though, I think I heard to know about is former President Trump. Of course. Did you recommend charges against Donald Trump?
I really don't want want to share something that the judge made a conscious decision not to share? I will tell you that it was a process where we heard his name a lot. We definitely heard a lot about former President Trump, and we definitely discussed him a lot in the room.
That sound you hear is every prosecutor in the Georgia case slamming their briefcases on the floor. And as if that wasn't enough, people on Twitter literally found this woman's Pinterest account that contained literal witchcraft symbols on it. I mean, look at this. You literally cannot make this shit up. It is literally bringing a whole new meaning to the phrase witch hunt.
I like that. Yeah, Trump called it a witch hunt. But, we kind of thought, metaphorically speaking, when actually the witches are after him. And she's is she like 18 or 20 or something? Like, she's very young. Oh, thank you, Faith, and Deb too. Thank you so much. Okay, Eye of the Day said Hunter Biden missed a deadline to turn over documents about his overseas business dealings to the House Oversight Committee. And I'm not going to play that one because it is Fox News, but there you go. Hunter Biden has missed the deadline. What's going to happen next? Who knows? Christopher F. Rufo said left-wing campus activists promised to mobilise mass demonstrations against Governor DeSantis, who has promised to abolish DEI departments at Florida's public universities. That is our diversity, equity and inclusion, departments. At universities, he's going to abolish them. FSU has 30,000 students and could only muster up a tiny crowd. It's time to call their bluff. Because what it seems to me is there are a minority of people screaming and everyone's listening to them. We shouldn't. Or call their bluff at least. Yeah, I agree with that more than anything. Florida college students, okay. That's not very many. From 30,000 students, they only got this many. However many that is. This is insanity. You need to try harder, Anna, for Florida and Carlos G. Smith. These are rookie numbers. Oh, dear. Okay, Senator Babbitt said another conspiracy theory rolling out. This will one day become the new normal. What are your thoughts on the Chinese social credit system? Do you want to see it rolled out here in Australia? The Sydney Morning Herald said several CCTV cameras with sophisticated data analytics software that monitors crowd, mood and density will be temporarily installed along Sydney's Oxford Street as part of the Mardi Gras parade on Saturday. So everyone at the Mardi Gras is going to be tracked. Good luck with that. I hope they don't mind. Otherwise, I would honestly recommend they stay away from Oxford Street. Anyone who does mind, I'm not saying much at all about this. I don't agree with this thing going on at all, but hey, what do you do? Glynis said the US Department of Justice now wants Alex Jones's cat. Why do they want his cat? Mate, if they came after my cat, they'd be fighting me for it. Or any of my animals. Let's have a little listen.
Okay, so this is not a joke. This is real, and this really happened. And I just got home tonight with my family, so my wife's shooting this video. I'm in a bankruptcy hearing, personal and corporate for InfoWars, and the Justice Department is involved and ordered me to be at a hearing today. And they spent probably 5 minutes of the meeting that was over 3 hours long on my cat. This is Mushu, my 5-year-old daughter named Mushu this 2 years ago. And they wanted to know if assets were hidden in the cat. The cat was like $2,000, and it is a ragdoll cat, and we really do love it. But they were very serious about the cat and its value, and they may want the cat for the Sandy Hook families. So the deal's broke. You guys aren't getting the cat.
For the Sandy Hook families? That's what he just said. What?
This is next level. This is harassment. No one's ever heard of this. My lawyer's never heard of this. This is just insane.
Okay, that's all I'm going to play of that, just in, you know. Oh, the powers that be. Honestly, we could do without those powers that be. Nasty One Reborn said the same propaganda that's going on now happened with the jab made Spanish flu epidemic. They were the people. These are the elite. And over here, you got a little conspiracy theorist. It'd be me. Oh my God, no. Okay, what have I tagged here? Spies Who Lie from the New York Post. Who's this? Cynthia Strand, Rick Leggett, Michael Morrell, Steve Slick, Nada Bacchus, James Bruce, Chris Savos, Don Hepburn, Ronald Marks, Petty Brandmeier, Glenn Gerstel, Jeremy Bash, Doug Wise, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, John McLaughlin, David Cairns, Stephen Hall. CNN pundit James Clapper headed a letter by 51 former intelligence officials in October 2020 to cast doubt that the laptop, Hunter Biden one, was Russian disinformation. Even as the laptop has been confirmed again and again, none of them will apologise or admit they're wrong. And James Clapper and John Brennan in the middle. The spies who lie. Anyway, I think we know most of that. Come on, man, said Albanese, our Prime Minister here in Australia, out kissing babies with Chris Minns MP today. I thought Minns wanted to try and win the election. Why would you have the dud PM come along to spoil your chances? Albo is a mess and Minns is no better. And the baby what looks like it wants to get away. Has he got writing on his hand or a tattoo? Anyway, I don't know. But that baby doesn't want to be in his arms. Not twisting the other way, trying to get me out of here. The Real and the Facts said former VP, climate guru, WF acolyte, scam artist, all-round hypocrite by Ariel Zibber. Al Gore's eco-friendly investment firm owns portfolio of 26 plus billion shares in 2 dozen companies that have increased greenhouse gas emissions. How does that happen? Gore, whose Oscar-winning film An Inconvenient Truth cemented his status as the most prominent doomsayer on climate change, chairs the London-based Generation Investment Management, which touts a stated emphasis on sustainable investment options. But a recent analysis by Bloomberg News found that Generation's global equity fund, which numbers a total of 42 companies, including 18 firms which emitted increasingly more greenhouse gases annually between 2015 and 2021. Bloomberg ranked Generation, which has $40.4 billion worth of assets under its management, as among the companies that own the greatest share of greenhouse gas emitting firms, when compared to other funds that placed a priority on so-called ESG, environmental, social and governance investing. The push into ESG has become a political hot potato. Republican politicians have hit out at firms such as BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, for touting ESG. In October, several Republican state treasurers withdrew a total of $1 billion from BlackRock accounts in protest of its commitment to ESG. Texas Governor Greg Abbott banned state investments in businesses that shunned oil and gas firms. Good. Another Republican head of state, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, imposed a similar measure. The Post has sought comment from Generation. On the company's website, Generation bills itself as a mission-led firm. We seek transformational change to drive to a net zero. The death of everyone. Prosperous, equitable, healthy and a safe society, the company states on its site. Look, no corporation and no government are ever going to be able to keep you safe. Ever. In determining which companies to invest in, Generation, which employs around 110 workers, examines factors such as the size of the firm's carbon footprint and the diversity of its corporate board. including female representation. Generation's global equity fund includes blue-chip firms such as Adidas, Microsoft, Amazon, Carlyle, and Klaus Schwab. Microsoft is one company that's seen its greenhouse gas emissions increase, according to Bloomberg News. Becton Dickinson and Co., a medical device maker listed in Generation's global equity fund, has seen its carbon footprint grow more than 20% between 2015 and 2021. Amazon, the e-commercial Goliath, is the biggest climate culprit. The Seattle-based giant only began releasing data about the amount of greenhouse gas it emits in 2019. In 2021, as Amazon's profits soared during the pandemic, so did the tonnage of greenhouse gases that it released into the air. Okay, sorry. It's hard to read these tweets because I think it's ended, but it hasn't. According to the company's own sustainability report, that year, Amazon's carbon footprint grew by 1/5. Generation recently announced a investment priorities. A shift? I think they put the wrong word there. The firm sold off some of its holdings in Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba while scooping up an additional 2.2 million shares in US chip manufacturer Texas Instruments, according to SEC filings. Generation also sold more than 774,000 shares of Alibaba in the fourth quarter of last year, according to filings cited by Barron's. The firm more than quintupled its investment in Texas Instruments. SEC filings show Generation now owns a total of 2.7 million shares of the US-based semiconductor manufacturer. Gore's firm also appears to be pivoting away from Asia due to geopolitical tensions along the Taiwan Strait. Generation sold off stakes in Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, the world's largest contact chip maker. By the end of the third quarter, Generation owned more than 326,000 shares of TSM, but the firm sold them off by the end of the fourth quarter. So what, they're dumping China? And yeah, he can't talk to anyone about greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, I've already read that. Oh, is this a different one? Hypocrite talking points. Calvin Freiberger? Gates claims his climate change activism offsets the massive carbon footprint of his private jets. Oh, so you just buy your way out of it, do you? Is that how you do it? Okay. Microsoft co-founder invoked carbon offsets to exempt himself from practicing what he preaches. Of course he did. Bill Gates of hell, Microsoft co-founder and left-wing financier Gates of hell, denied that his use of a fuel-heavy private jet to travel around the world meaningfully contributes to anthropogenic global warming when weighed against all the money he spends on climate activism. So it's about money, you see. Because if it was about the climate, he wouldn't do it. Rejecting the suggestion of hypocrisy in a recent interview with the BBC. The Daily Wire notes that the tech billionaire flew more than 213,000 miles on 59 private jet flights in 2017, according to a study from Linnaeus University economics professor Stephen Gosling. The flight activity created some 1,760 tonnes of carbon dioxide emissions, which is nearly 109 times higher than the emissions per capita in the United States, according to data from the World Bank. Speaking to reporter Amol Rajan, while in Kenya, Gates addressed the apparent discrepancy by asking, "Should I stay at home and not come to Kenya and learn about farming and malaria?" Yeah, Bill, you should. Go home, stay there. He also said he's comfortable with the idea that not only am I not part of the problem by paying for the offsets, but also through the billions that my breakthrough energy company is spending that I'm part of the solution. That's some mental gymnastics, that is. Gates' answer alludes to the practice of carbon credits by which individuals may theoretically cancel out their own carbon footprint. How? How is it by buying credits you're cancelling out? It does, look, seriously? Mental gymnastics. by donating an amount of money to carbon reduction causes that allegedly have equal or greater impact in the opposite direction. Critics have long alleged that carbon credits are a little more than pretext for climate activists to raise money while exempting the wealthiest among them from having to practice the lifestyle changes they demand of the rest of the world. Activists claim there is a 97% scientific consensus in favour of anthropogenic global warming. The view that human activity rather than natural phenomena is primarily responsible for Earth's changing climate, but that number comes from a distortion of an overview of 11,944 papers from peer-reviewed journalists, 66.4% of which express no opinion on the question. In fact, many of the authors identified with the AGW consensus later spoke out to say their positions had been misrepresented. Further, contrary to the claims that people are dying due to climate change, data from the International Disasters Database show that climate-related deaths, i.e. deaths due to floods, droughts, storms, wildfires and extreme temperatures, have dramatically and steadily declined since the 1920s. AGW proponents suffered a blow in 2010 with the discovery that their leading researchers at the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, East Anglia Climate Research Unit and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration had engaged in widespread data manipulation, flawed climate models, misrepresenting of sources and suppression of dissenting findings. And honestly, they're computer models. And computer models depend on the information inserted into it in the first place. So if there was biased information inserted, they can make it look however they want. In March 2019, Greenpeace co-founder Patrick Moore called AGW alarmism a complete hoax and scam, a kind of toxic combination of religion and political ideology that is as bad as a thing that has happened to science in the history of science. Gates, a vocal proponent of sweeping policy changes to combat AGW, is also an advocate for abortion on demand, population control and the COVID-19, the jabs, as well as subject of troubling speculation about his relationship with deceased sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein. Don't forget that. That's one of the main things. Just look at this guy and think, mate of Epstein. Even after finding out what he was. We've got another one. Courts show GlaxoSmithKline concealed evidence, knew for 40 years that this thing here, which I've taken, could cause the big C. They've known. For how many years was it? 40 years. And the first thing a doctor gives you if you tell them you got heartburn is that. Based on evidence discovered in these court cases, reveals that they knew and had for decades concealed it, knowing that that thing could cause the big C. I don't think we need to go any further. I think we pretty much know. They've been doing it with a lot of stuff. Sorry guys, I still got a bit of a cough. Ooh. Okay, and another one by The Real and the Facts. Plastic chemical released when the train derailed in Ohio can cause the big C as well. Vinyl chloride, a chemical in several of the train cars that derailed and burned in East Palestine, Ohio, this month is used to make PVC plastics. Also linked to liver damage and big C, vinyl chloride's been shown to cause, big C in the liver, as well as non-malignant liver disease known as TASH, or toxicant-associated steatohepatitis. With TASH, the livers of the otherwise healthy people can develop the same fat accumulation, inflammation and scarring, fibrosis and psoriasis as people who have psoriasis from alcohol or obesity. That kind of damage typically requires relatively high levels of vinyl chloride explosions, the kind an industrial worker might experience on the job. However, exposures to lower environmental concentrations are still a concern. That's in part because little is known about the impact low-level exposure might have on liver health. And Robert F. Kennedy said, "Do not let this thing be normalised. It's time to take back our rail system from greedy profiteers who externalise risks and reap profits at our expense." Especially for people with underlying liver disease and other risks. As an assistant professor of medicine, environmental and occupational health, this person studies the impacts of vinyl chloride exposure on the liver, particularly on how it may affect people with underlying liver disease. Recent findings have changed their understanding of the risk. Lessons from Rubbertown. Vinyl chloride used to produce PVC, a hard plastic used for pipes as well as in some packaging, coatings and wires. Its health risks were discovered in the 1970s at B.F. Goodrich factory in the Rubbertown neighbourhood of Louisville, Kentucky. 4 workers involved in the polymerization process of producing polyvinyl chloride there each developed angiosarcoma of the liver, an extremely rare type of tumour. Their cases became among the most important sentinel events in the history of occupational medicine and led to the worldwide recognition of vinyl chloride as a carcinogen. The liver is the body's filter for removing toxins from the blood. Specialised cells known as hepatocytes help reduce the toxicity of drugs, alcohol, caffeine and environmental chemicals and then send away the waste to be excreted. The hallmark of vinyl chloride exposure to the liver is paradoxical combination of normal liver function tests and the presence of fat in the liver and the death of hepatic cells which make up the bulk of the liver's mass. However, the detailed mechanisms that lead to vinyl chloride-induced liver disease are still largely unknown. Okay, recent research has said that exposure to vinyl chloride, even at levels below the federal limits for safety, can enhance liver disease caused by a Western diet, one rich in fat and sugar. The previously unidentified interaction between vinyl chloride and underlying fatty liver disease raised concerns that the risk from lower vinyl chloride exposures may be underestimated. In outdoor air, it becomes diluted fairly quickly. Sunlight breaks it down, typically 9 to 11 days. So immediately release the vinyl chloride. If there's a chemical smell or you feel itchy or disorientated, leave the area and seek medical attention. And apparently Trump went there and delivered to Ohio, and he delivered lots of water and food and other things. Goat Trade said it's snowing in Southern California to all you green initiative tax scamming scumbuckets. What global warming? Where? Way to go, Callie. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. California, rest in peace. Simultaneous release. Mick Sav says, replying to Josie Amy Cashman, Australia overtook Qatar as #1 exporter of natural gas. Qatar is rich, Australia is broke. Work that out. Australia apparently overtook Qatar as the #1 exporter of natural gas, and yet we are broke. Rage Against the Vaccine said EU countries will try and agree to sanctions against Russia. Negotiations on the 10th package of sanctions have failed twice. The parties cannot come to a consensus on the next economic restrictions for Russia. I wonder why. Germany's probably feeling not the heat, the cold, from not having gas after the pipeline was blown up by the Navy. Not the bee said, watch. Marxist Angela Davis, who teaches that America was built by racist colonizers, finds out her ancestors were on the Mayflower. I have watched several. There are videos on YouTube, at least there used to be, with DNA test results, and a lot of black people were doing it. Now you've got Mexican people doing it, and they're finding out that they have white in them. And you should see some of them go off. Like, it's not hard to imagine. I mean, at one point you had Irish and black slaves together. Some point there's going to be some mixing. People just fall in love, regardless of skin colour. How about that? Amazing Polly spokesperson said, RE, do your own research in 2023. And she's replying to someone else. As a full-time professional researcher using the internet almost exclusively, Amazing Polly can warn people that it's gotten vastly more difficult over the last 2 years. People now have to know what they're looking for, and even then, some things can't be found anymore. And there's a theory called the dead internet theory. That's at least 50% of the internet is bots. A lot of news articles are written by AI. And that because of the search, you know how the Google search, when you search for something, it comes up with so many million results. And then you get to page 44 and it ends because there are no more results. And there certainly hasn't been millions of results in the 44 pages you looked at, because they're taking things down from the internet. So good luck researching now if people are just waking up. It's going to be very difficult for them because most of it's been taken down. And that is most search engines. Doesn't matter which ones you try. A Rage Against the Vaccine said, truth sounds like hate to those who hate truth. It really does. Alexandra Marshall said, so Labor's going to raise everyone's taxes and the left are like, this is a good thing. It's amazing how ideologically mental, you can be to brainwash yourself into thinking handing over all your money to the government is a good thing. It should be the opposite. The government should be giving people back the money. Okay, not the B, so it's not satire is what I'm assuming. Arkansas cops ruled death of Clinton aide found tied to a tree and shot with no gun found a suicide. Have we been Arkansas-siding again? Or Clinton-siding? Let's have a look at this one. This person here, whose name is Harris Rigby, who wrote this, I would just like to say that I'm not suicidal at all and I'm of sound physical and mental health. With that said, in the immortal words of Cardi B, that's suspicious, that's weird. Check out this, the Ultimate Clown Show World headline. Daily Mail US, exclusive, death of Clinton aide linked to Jeffrey Epstein, found shot and tied to a tree with an electrical cord around his neck, is ruled a suicide. That's like the guy who stabbed himself a few times in the back and shot himself in the head, committed suicide as well. And the one who hung himself from a tree and shot himself as well. Yeah. Look, when there's too many coincidences, how many coincidences does it take for it not to be a coincidence anymore? Yes, this is a real story from the Clintons' home state of Arkansas. A former Clinton aide who has ties to Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide by shooting himself and tying himself to a tree, even though the police couldn't find the gun. Please make that make sense. Would he shoot himself, run away, throw the gun somewhere, or jump in the car and drive the gun somewhere? I don't know. And then go back and tie himself to the tree? Yeah, I think this speaks for the, Arkansas police. The sheriff's report into Mark Middleton's mysterious death raises more questions than answers as it rules he died by suicide, despite no sign of the weapon that killed him. The report, written by Perry County Sheriff Deputy Jeremy Lawson, I'd be looking at him, says he was called to the ranch by worker Samantha McElroy, who had found Middleton's abandoned black BMW SUV. McElroy, 46, then walked around a cottage on the ranch. Almost immediately after stepping around the corner of the cottage, she started yelling, wrote Lawson. Upon reaching the back of the cottage, she pointed towards the rear of the property and asked if that was a person. I could see what at first appeared to be a man sitting near a tree. As my eyes focused better, I could see rope of some type going from the tree limb to the male. Lawson said it was clear that Middleton was dead. I could see that he had a gunshot wound to the chest and he had a knot tied in an extension cord that was around his neck. Is this the same guy who hung himself from a tree and shot himself at the same time? And it was attached to the limb directly above him. The deputies said a search of Middleton's vehicle turned up 3 boxes of buckshot and a gun case, but no weapon. Well, the guns don't just grow legs and walk away by themselves. You know, whenever I tie myself to a tree and shoot myself in the chest, what I normally do is take the gun away from the crime scene but leave all the other evidence. I need to leave the place clean and tidy. Middleton was a special advisor to Bill Clinton in the 90s and signed Jeffrey Epstein into the White House on 7 of the 17 times the late pedo visited. Middleton also flew on Epstein's jet, nicknamed the Lolita Express. More recently, had been working for his family's HVAC business in Little Rock. The police report was released to the DailyMail.com by Perry County Sheriff's Office. According to the Arkansas Times, Middleton's family said he was suffering from depression. He signed Epstein in and out of the White House for the Clintons. Then years later, like everyone else who knows the Clintons and Epstein, he happens to kill himself. It's mathematically impossible to be so many coincidences. It's so weird how that keeps happening. White House visitor logs previously reported by Daily Mail showed that he appears as the authorising signatory on 7 of Epstein's White House visits, most of which to the West Wing. In addition to being special assistant to the president, Middleton was also assistant chief to the chief of staff, Thomas McLarty. Middleton left the White House in February 1995 and was accused of setting himself up as an international deal maker, exactly the kind of person that would appeal to Epstein. In 1996, an investigation by the White House found that Middleton had abused his access to impress business clients and was barred from the executive mansion without senior approval. Middleton denies the claims. I'm sure this is just another crazy coincidence. You hear that, Hillary? Just a wild happenstance. Nothing weird going on here. Nothing at all. No, not at all. Clinton sided, Arkansas sided. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's not going to go back to the beginning. It is going to go back to the beginning. Ah, dear. Doesn't matter if I log out and log back in. Doesn't matter what I do. This happens to me on Twitter. It jumps. Oh, where were we? Jeez, I've gotten pretty far down. Snowy Kelly. Okay, wow, further down than I thought. Sorry, guys. There we go. DC Drano said chemical engineer expert explains how government officials are lying in Ohio about it being a controlled burn. A controlled burn implies control of the oxygen and fuel used to burn the chemicals safely. He said what happened in Ohio was an uncontrolled burn, which was why it created a toxic cloud. Let's have a little listen.
You were the guy that made all the decisions. Would you have done a controlled burn? Well, there's the lie. It wasn't a controlled burn, it was an uncontrolled burn. See, I'm a chemical engineer as well as a top health and safety guy. I've got undergraduate and graduate degrees in chemical engineering.
You're the first actual expert that we've gotten to speak to. In your opinion, why do you believe that it was an uncontrolled burn? Why are you using that terminology when so far everywhere else we've seen that it was a controlled burn?
You can go to a place called West Liverpool downriver, and that's where they burn hazardous waste. And in a hazardous waste situation, they very carefully control the temperature and the amount of oxygen so that they get complete combustion, right? It's time, temperature, and amount of the air-fuel ratio. There's no controlling of the amount of air that gets in there. That's why you saw all that soot. So it's not a controlled burn, because a controlled burn would have to be like in a furnace or in your car or some system where you control the fuel, in other words, the vinyl chloride and the amount of oxygen. So they didn't do that. So it's an uncontrolled burn. One of the worst ways to determine exposure in general is to smell it, because if you smell the odor, guess what? You're already exposed, right?
How long have you been doing this?
30 years. I'm in most of the big named lawsuits as the exposure expert. It's a privilege. I get called in to try to figure some of this stuff out. So that's my job always, is what really happened, you know?
Wow. Okay, Il Donaldo Trumpo posted this from Real Donald Trump. I don't know. There's no date, no nothing on it. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. And everyone's gone, no. But, I think I shared it for the comments. It is time. I wish that was a real tweet. Someone said, stop this nonsense. Let's effing go. Okay. Someone said, did you notice the 10:17 p.m. timestamp? I didn't see a timestamp on that one. We all wish he would tweet that. Matt Gaetz said when he was Trump was president, taxes were cut, regulations were slashed, energy was abundant, wages were rising, capital was returning from overseas to fund the dreams and ambitions of our fellow Americans, and the economy was roaring. What a contrast. Where is it? To what we have seen from this administration, and so I rise to nominate DJT for position of Speaker of the House. When was that? February 22nd. No, he should be back in. He really should be back in. Anyway, let's not worry about that too much. I think it's coming. It's a matter of time. Probably 2024, knowing me. Old Soldier said, that's it. That's a bridge too far. Marcus Gordon Anthony said, Congresswoman Omar, born in Mogadishu, Somalia, introduces legislation that would ban the sale of bacon nationwide. And it said readers added context they thought people might want to know. Ilhan Omar has sponsored only 3 bills in her time as representative, none pertaining to the sale of bacon. The legislation is belly up. I don't know, honestly. Oh dear. Ian Miles Chong said, if man's created in God's image and woman's is created in God's image, then God must be... Oh, it's this person again. Oh dear God. Okay, let's have a look.
God is non-binary. The Church of England is considering removing all gendered language around God. And thank goodness. You know, if man's created in God's image and woman is created in God's image, then God must be trans. Everyone deserves the chance to relate to God on their own terms. God is for everyone of every gender. God is non-binary.
God, I can't listen to it again. I can't listen to it again. I can't listen to it again. The person's crazy. I don't know. That's all I can say. And that person's after children. That person is after people's children. Okay, Rukshan Fernando said after a few nights in the street of Alice Springs with Israeli Avi, it's becoming increasingly clear that as long as politicians, activists and the mainstream media continue to politicise these issues and race bait the country, these kids are going to remain lost. I won't play the whole thing, but what I will do is, where am I?
And then more and more. I'll carry a machete, mate. Cut you open. White cock stabbed in here 30-something times just before the media got here.
People thought we were nuts to come here.
Yeah, no, you kind of are. Like, it is pretty ruthless out here. So, like, we've had machetes pulled on us. We've had cars stolen. We've had cars jumping gutters just like a metre or two away from us and whatnot. So it gets pretty crazy out here. This is probably a quiet night tonight, but every time we say that, it tends to pop off.
How old are you?
17, my brother. I'm 17.
And what time do you go home?
Daybreak it, bruh. You Keep it that way.
You don't want to go home. Why not? Why not be at home at night? So you can see police here just patrolling on dirt bikes and moving on, you know, groups of young youths. Some of them starting to get a bit rowdy. It's still only early.
Oh, I've only been here for the last few months.
Where are you from?
Brisbane.
Oh, you're from Brisbane?
Yeah, from Brisbane.
What's wrong with you?
The money's good out here. So that's why they pay us well to work out here, I guess, because no one else is willing to work out here.
I come down here July last year. I'm from Darwin way, so I'm FIFO. 3 weeks on, 1 week off.
And is this worse than Darwin?
Oh, hell worse way than Darwin.
Yeah.
Way worse.
I actually feel sorry for these kids.
They're throwing rocks at her. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. That's all I'm going to play for that, because it is, you can, I think, Rebel News Australia. I don't know if they've got a YouTube channel. But it, you know, kind of gets... That was pretty mild, I think, compared to... Does anything more happen, actually?
We here?
Oh.
Mall. I've been walking down the mall and had 5 of them pick me up and beat me with a stick.
Originally, I was born in Los Angeles, California.
You grew up there?
Born and raised.
What are the two gangs there?
The Crips and the Bloods.
Well, we've noticed they're down here too. How do you think it ended up here?
Unfortunately, they don't have that many role models to look after anymore. I mean, there's a lot of domestics, drunks, and stuff like that. So the kids nowadays, their culture revolves around the media, social media. And it's played a major impact on them as well, too. So they watch the rap videos and everything else like that, and they're influenced by other black people in other places around the world who share the same skin tone, and then they want to be like them, right? Because their role models are lacking here, unfortunately.
Yeah, nothing to do.
And what's more fun here? What's fun about being on the street?
Walking around.
Hanging with the friends? Yeah. Do you guys cause trouble or not?
Sometimes.
Sometimes what kind of trouble?
Breaking in there.
Really? Is that fun?
No.
Do you get in trouble for it?
Yeah.
From who?
Coppers.
Oh, the coppers get you in trouble? What kind of trouble do they get you in here?
Any coppers.
What kind of trouble do coppers get you in here?
Juvenile.
Oh, juvenile?
Yeah, we got juvie.
Oh, you guys been to juvie?
Yeah, all about that.
It's shit. Oh, it's boring. Are you scared? Are you scared to go to juvie?
No.
What is that?
Who's that?
Oh, you got brothers there?
Yeah.
What are the symbols? What are the symbols you're doing?
Like blood and Crips, it's like this is Australia, not America.
They think they're in America?
Yeah, they think they are. Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Just they watch like all the movies and all that. The Crips and Bloods.
Cigarette with Crip niggas.
What are the gang symbols? Can you teach us? What's that? What's that? Is that like American? Like in America?
Alice Spring 8.
In Alice Springs?
Yeah.
Is it Alice Springs like America? No.
A-Town. A-Town, we call it A-Town.
A-Town. Okay.
They're a bit lost. But all children need guidance, after all. So if you don't get guided, they're going to come up with their own worldview.
This group of
Oh, okay, it's starting to stuff up, so I'm going to leave that one there. But you see, you know, there's an American man telling you. Oh, goodness. Tim Young said they all look really confident taking one sip of that water, especially the dude in yellow who looks like he's pretending. Okay, let's have a watch of them drinking their Ohio water. And I think the lady, they said, oh, that water tastes pretty nice or something. And the lady says, yeah, oh, it's not my water. I don't know if they put something else in there to drink from or... Because I can't even see him pouring anything from here. Can you? I can't see him pouring from a tap. But anyway, they're putting on a show of drinking their Ohio water. Show us the tap. Oh, it started again. This is insane. Hang on. Try and turn it down a bit. Oh. And how come they've got red cups? You can't tell if there's anything in there. And these people have got clear cups. His looks yellow. His water looks yellow or funny colour. I don't know. Maybe it's my eyes, but his water looked a little bit of a funny colour. So there you go. See? I didn't see anyone pour anything out of anywhere. Dr. Simone Gold said, wow, Dr. John Little was kicked out of Sarasota Memorial Hospital board meeting after testifying to the effectiveness of a certain medication, this one here, to treat the coof. This is shocking. Kicked out for suggesting it works. Dr. Little is courageous and also independent doctors whose paycheck comes from the hospital or other corporate interests will not look out for patients' best interests. Avi Yamini said this bloke nails it with absolute class. What is he nailing? Hang on.
Sean, what does woke mean to you?
Well, picking up on what was just said, the difference between PC and woke is that politically correct in terms of being respectful to others' feelings and not being racist or sexist is fine, but woke has gone completely off the rails. It is a different animal.
Pauline, you proudly describe yourself as woke. How do you feel about Sean's take on it?
I can understand where Sean's coming from, but wokeness for me is turning me from somebody who was brought up on the tail end of the White Australia policy, great amount of change in my formative growing up years, to a person who is very different to what my mother and father knew.
Sean, what about you? Like, have your views changed over the years?
If you're talking political views, I was raised in a left-wing family whose primary concern was the wealth disparities as they affected the working class, and I shared those sensibilities. But around the 2010s, what could be called the old left that I've just described have allowed themselves to be completely consumed by the new left and an obsession with identity politics. And the new left have gone so far down this path of identity politics that they are beyond the horizon and over the waterfall. So to me, it is not so much an issue of left and right, but it's more liberalist versus anti-liberalist.
Has this affected your personal relationships?
Yeah, well, yes, it has. Because if you express any hesitancy whatsoever around the vaccine, you're an anti-vaxxer. If you express a desire for freedom of speech, you're told you're supporting hate speech. If you express concern that biological males in women's sports might break girls' hearts as well as their limbs, you are a transphobe. So it becomes impossible to have conversations, and this fractures relationships at an interpersonal level. And the same thing is happening at a societal level and a nationwide level, because there's no longer any political discourse.
That's exactly right. Okay, I mean, therefore I am, replied to Benny Johnson and said, Joe Biden goes to Ukraine. Jill Biden goes to Namibia. Trump goes to East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, and he went over and gave Ukraine billions of dollars and won't help his own country. That is very, very shameful. But don't worry, our politicians are doing the same thing here. Urantian lady? It's all about population reduction. They want war at all costs. The cost being the lives of Ukrainians and billions of others. Liz Truss calls for fighter jets to be sent to Ukraine.
We need to do all we can to make sure Ukraine wins this war as soon as possible.
You know why? Because it protects their backsides.
Extra day, are lives lost, women violated, towns destroyed. We need to do all we can as fast as we can. My view is that does include fighter jets. And we've had a discussion today about which are the best possible options.
They really do want World War III, don't they? They're pushing it hard. I'm not going to play any more of that. I don't want to listen to her. Bloke in a pub said Blair sparks anger with plan for every Briton to get digital ID. YouGov claim majority of citizens agree with Tony Blair. Do you believe them? Former rivals Sir Tony Blair and Lord Hague said new sense of national purpose across political dividing lines is needed with what? With a digital ID? They can be hacked. All your stuff could be taken from you. You can be hacked. Don't put it online. No. Free Spirit Australia said, I know of a young man, not a drop of Aboriginal blood in him, claimed Aboriginality to get free apprenticeship after he found out how much his third attempt at one would cost. He got it. No questions asked. Is it racist to ask? Monica said, if you ask Labor how they identify someone as Aboriginal for the voice, they call you borderline racist. Senator Alex Antic asked the department repeatedly with no answer. I would like to know too. Do you need to be 10%, 20% or 50% Aboriginal to qualify? Well, apparently you need to be 0% to qualify. And I had a thought, which should be, everyone who was born in Australia should probably go for Aboriginal status. But then again, it'd break the country. Oh my God. Or would it break the country? They get a lot of benefits. Like, that's the one thing that, you know, I don't know why they're trying to bring a voice in when they already have quite a few voices. Rage Against the Vaccine said residents of Greece marched against the visit of the US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to their country. He is a symbol of war, the Greeks chanted such. The protesters also came out with anti-war banners noting that NATO is leading the world to World War III. So there you go. They're against it. Good on you, Greece. Yep, the Greeks. You tell them, mate. Seriously. Attorney General Andrew someone. Who? Andrew, I can't find. Andrew Bailey. In an effort to protect the people of St. Louis, I filed a suit quo warranto to remove St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kimberly M. Gardner from office. As Attorney General, I want to protect the people of St. Louis, and that includes ensuring prosecutors protect the public. We gave Circuit Attorney Gardner the chance to do the right thing and resign. She's refused to do so, and my office filed a quo warranto at 12:01 p.m. to remove her from office immediately. Another example of why people don't trust prosecutors. Never too late, but should have been done a long time ago. I don't know what this person's... Maybe let people out that shouldn't be let out, or let them go, you know, like they do. Danny Q said, I don't want my details available to be hacked or used by corrupt government departments. One sec, guys. I've got a heater on. It's getting a bit too hot. I'm boiling myself. Okay, it's off. Overheating. Thought I was having a hot flush. No, it was the heaters on. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah. So no one wants their details available to be hacked or used by corrupt government departments, but they will. 9 News Melbourne said there are serious privacy and security concerns over a plan to digitise every Victorian's medical history. 10,000 people have signed a petition demanding the right to opt out. They tried this years ago. And you had to opt out. Otherwise, you were put in automatically. I don't know if it was the rest of Australia, but they did have it here. I'm in New South Wales. Cat Turd said Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 16 years in Los Angeles for attacking ladies. Let's see what Michelle Obama thinks about him. Let's have a listen. What does she think about him?
I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing day. Harvey. This is possible because of Harvey. He is a wonderful human being, a good friend, and just a powerhouse. And the fact that he and his team took the time to make this happen for all of you should say something, not about me or about this place, but...
Oh, it says a lot about you. Oh, my goodness. And she pretends to care about women and children and all sorts of things, and it's questionable whether she is one. Anyway, Elijah Schaefer said, is Britney Spears okay? I don't know. Is this Britney Spears? Hang on, let's have a look.
It's really proud, diamond panel, slip in the back, a girlfriend helped me sew it. They sent me a dress I didn't have to make myself.
Hang on, what is the accent? She sounds like she's going from English to Australian. Is she going American as well? Hang on.
I can't believe it. I'm just saying. Okay, now I'm so proud. I didn't even have to make it myself. Thank you, company, for sending me this dress. Thank you. So guys, I just want you to know if I shut down my Instagram, do not call the cops. Don't ever be a roller coaster. I got this dress as well. Never be a roller coaster!
They've got her on some hard drugs, I think. I don't know. What's going on there? Is it her? Oh, I don't know. DC Drano said, you know what happens when you launch multiple stun grenades into peaceful J6 crowds? The same thing happens when you rattle a dog's cage. This is why they don't want more J6 videos released. Let's have a look. Ooh, that's a bit rough, isn't it? Hang on. Where was I up to? There. Wow. I can see why they don't want to release anymore. They knew exactly what they were doing, listen to them in their own words. Watch as J6 police admit their explosive munitions were hitting innocent, peaceful people. We're taking out 1 and 10 of them are getting angrier. We're multiplying them. They knew exactly what they were doing, rattling the dog's cage.
We're going to have to get a reason. What have you got that we can help and push them? Munitions. Nothing's going to help.
The wind is at us.
Yeah.
I know.
we're fucked.
Right. The wind's at us. So we get hit with a lot of pain compliance when you hit innocent people.
And not only that, we're taking out 1 and 10 of them are getting angrier. We're multiplying them by hitting them. We're going to have to get a reason.
I think that's what they wanted. Wow. Okay. Tree of Logic said this piece of doesn't know where he is most of the time. Asking him questions is pointless without his note cards. And David Vance said, why is he so awkward? Let's have a look.
Mr. President, any reaction to Putin saying he's pulling out a restart?
I don't have time.
No time?
No. Big mistake.
Oh, it's awfully loud all of a sudden. What was the mark on his head? Where is it? Oh no, it's just an indent maybe. Oh, I don't know. Is my screen dirty? Oh dear. Red Pillsy Yummy said, a fair punishment would be to throw her in a men's prison naked for 24 hours. I don't think, no, that's not good, but okay. Should be held accountable, right? But I don't agree with what this person said, but I do agree This person should be locked up for as long as Kavanaugh would have been locked up if he had been found guilty, because she was lying the whole time. The Trump train said, should Christine Blasey Ford be arrested for lying about Brett Kavanaugh, harassing her in, sexual way? Yes, I do believe she should be put into jail. And not a men's one, naked, no. I don't agree with that, but I do agree she should be locked up for what she did. Any woman accusing a man, by lying, I think the punishment should go back to them. AussieBot said, I stand with Russia against the woke. Killer Instinct said, Putin is loved by millions because he kicked out the Rothschilds' cabal central bank. He banned GMOs from their food supply chain, limited chemtrails while putting God, faith and family in the forefront. Today, Russia is one of the most Christian nations in the world. So there you go. He's been trying to warn America for years. Chicago Ray said, how many people have to become victims of Soros-backed DAs before his money is banned from our politics? This beautiful young girl had to have both her legs amputated because this punk ignored home monitoring over 50 times. Every Soros-backed DA must be fired right now. Honestly, arm yourselves. And I think Australia is going to have to do the same. This punk deserves life in prison without parole. This stops right now. Could that be why that prosecutor was let go? Because they're not locking up people they should be? AussieBot said, don't let your women be pulled over alone. Rukshan Fernando said, foreign police are being brought into Australia to police the public in Queensland. This will become the norm nationwide as other states will look to adopt similar measures. Unsurprisingly, the media seems chirpy about the entire thing. Funnily enough, I think they've been doing it for a few years already. Anything they come out and tell you that they're going to do, they've normally been already doing. And Chuck Costello put this in, just in, a 6'6", 270-pound black male student attacks a white teacher at Matanzas High School for taking away his Nintendo Switch during class. Video reveals the unconscious woman being brutally assaulted and struck in the head roughly 15 times. I'm not going to show it. It is quite very disturbing. And this one from the Vigilant Fox. Robert Kennedy Jr. details the jab manufacturer's stunning admission of causing injury and harm. Each of the 405 diseases that have become epidemic since 1989 is listed as a side effect in the jab inserts. Autism is among those diseases listed. The federal law says they're not allowed to list anything on that manufacturer's insert unless the FDA determines that it is likely the vaccine caused that injury. So there we go. Okay, Attorney General Andrew, what's his name? Bailey. In an effort to enforce the laws as written, he's filed a suit with 22 other AGs against the Biden admin's Waters of the United States, WOTUS, rule that attempts to unconstitutionally expand federal authority over water throughout the country. That sounds familiar because, in Australia, most of our politicians have shares in the water. Funny that. He wants to enforce the laws as written, which includes ensuring that the Biden administration can't enact rules whenever it wants without express congressional authority. The nation was founded on the idea of the separation of powers, and this person's going to take any legal action necessary to protect the rights of Missouri farmers from being encroached upon by unelected federal bureaucrats who attempt to illegally expand their authority. And I'm going to finish it off with this one. Malcolm Roberts said, "Thank you, Sam. Today I went to the bank and told them I identify as a millionaire and I'd like to withdraw my money. They laughed and asked me to leave. Turns out, just because you believe something in your brain doesn't make it true, and you can't force others to pretend it is." So there you go, guys. And I'm going to put the camera on first so you don't get that multiple pages in the thing. Okay, hey, just chilling, how you doing? Way back in the comments, by the way, guys. I am Kai. Said it should show how ridiculous the movement is. I am Kai, saying it should show how ridiculous the movement is. That big boob teacher guy. D. Lee said fake. Kevin said it's a wonder Albo hasn't offered intersex people a voice to Parliament yet. Oh, that'll be next. Well, look at the Biden administration, right? The worst one in history. With all the diversity, equity, and inclusion they have. And the bald guy who stole women's luggage is at it again and got caught wearing the females' outfits that she actually designed. So there you go. Hey Kevin, how you going? It's Wonder Albert. And Eyes, how you going? Believe it or not, we're in the days of Noah, Lot, Sodom, and Gomorrah. Yep. I agree. Faith said lots of stories not adding up, holes everywhere. Hey Selena, how you going? Joel, how you going? Obama's third term, no real secret. Yep. Darren said, yeah, he's fake, but good to show everyone how delusional trans is. Alex said, Obama is the mouthpiece feeding through Biden's ears until Biden malfunctions. That's the robotics. Yeah, we heard about that years ago, that Obama's in the basement. And he even said it. He wanted to be in the basement running the country from there through someone else. Looks like that's actually happening, especially with what Jean-Pierre said. Dennis Biz said, good morning, Chook Warriors. And Selena said, FYI, intersex is roughly 1 out of every 5,000 births. It's a genetic mutation that's someone with XXY chromosomes. Hey, Ruff, how you doing? Shannon said 5 eyes. Yep. Okay, I'm going to try and go through the chat a little bit more. Because I've got to cut it off maybe in about an hour, if not before then, because I've got things to do, and I think my son's going to start streaming at 12, so it's 10:21 at the moment. We'll go as long as we can. Anne said, do you think the planets are in the right place? They seem to be at a right angle to the equatorial. I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention to the sky. Pretty should. Shanna said she looks like she's on meth. That young girl, the one who wanted to grill Donald Trump. Oh, Dana, how you going? Okay, and thank you again, Faith and Deb and Shannon, for the donations. Thank you so much. Shannon said, hey, Deb, looks like moistness is on the way. Ours has been on and off. It's sort of partly cloudy at the moment. Darren says she's too immature to be a forewoman. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. She's just, I don't know, to me she's acting like she's 18 or 20. But I have heard she's actually 30. I don't know. Shannon said, beautiful sunrise this morning, but it looks like rain coming from the Adelaide direction. And Selena said, yep, that juror lady is 30. They must be taught to do this, like, I don't know, there was a real, like, movement going, a lot of movement going on, you know, like jumping in your seat, like ants in the pants. Alex said, I think there's something up with sky and not the same as it used to be. Also, Jupiter and Venus were so big and bright the last few days. I remember that happened a few years ago. That the planet, the one that follows us, the one before the sun rises in the morning was getting bigger, and the one that follows the sun down at night, and they're stars, and they look like they were like getting bigger every day. I used to watch them for a couple of years. Hey Sherry, how you doing? I am Kai said, I'm in a mood, but okay. Oh, I am Kai, sorry. Deb said, much love to all. How you going, Dad? Yeah, Alex Jones, poor cat. Leave the animals out of it. Exactly. Anne said the angle is huge when I use my Sky app. Should be shifted south or something. Alex said they'll probably put it to sleep. Oh, that would be horrible. Alex said, I'm not keen on Jones, but that's totally out of order. Yeah. I just thought it was strange. Why would they want to take a cat unless it's to cause distress to someone? Yeah, exactly, Deb. What are they going to do with the kitty? What are they going to do with it? My chat's jumped, so I'm just going to read from wherever I am because it keeps jumping and I don't know why. Darren said, oh, thank you, Luna. Oh, God love ya. Darren said there'll be a state funeral soon for President Carter. All living presidents will be there. Have to watch out for envelopes and other surprises. I said I'm quiet peeps because I'm listening to Channel in England as I cannot stand the evil on Twitter and just watching till Hev comes back. Oh, God love your eyes. Darren said one good thing about the UK is you can be sued for more than you can afford. Oh, dear. Dennis Biz said, do you know anything about Miranda Devine? She was also doing a talk at Hillsdale College, suggesting she feels sorry for Hunter Biden's. I don't think she is to be trusted. I don't know. I don't know who Miranda Devine is. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if they're... Well, I know that a lot of people feel sorry for Hunter Biden because of the way he was brought up with Joe Biden being his father. And they say no wonder he is the way he is, being brought up with that. I don't know. Dele said, I think they can't believe Jones spent $2,000 on a cat because I don't believe it either. I'm Kai said, too many strays to buy a cat. Anne said they can manage my assets. Dele said, yes, Darren, all presidents at Carter's funeral worth the watch. Reality said BlackRock Vanguard behind all this mess. Yeah. There's a few different ones. There's George Soros, there's then you got the Klaus Schwabs and the Bill Gateses and... Oh, dear. I can't wait for this thing to turn around. Alex said there's a girl on YouTube that has 2 cats worth $4,000 each. She made them catios so they could go outside but not run away yet or get stolen. That's pretty good. Darren said how much greenhouse gases was caused in East Palestine. Yeah, see? They don't care about that. That's not what they care about. They care about the money. That's what they care about. Alex said, I can't remember the breed. People spend loads of money for cats and dogs if they've got the money. Well, yeah, they are. Honestly, animals can be worth a few $1,000s, depending on the breed and how true the breed is, true the breed is. So not mixed with other different types. I am Kai, said Darren, 9K forever, chemicals formed. D. Lee said, I've never heard of these expensive cats. Darren said, people who also spend money on fertility treatment, but the children are not classed as assets. Hey, Nicey, how you going? Truly enjoyed your chicken coop video, Hev. Oh, that was funny. I had to speed it up because it went for like an hour and a half, so I sped it up a little bit and made it a bit funnier. Darren said, no, I read that one. Shannon said, drink the rainbow water or you're a homophobic racist Nazi. I am Kai said, Planet Dirt was terraformed from Ohio. Yeah, Dealey said, Reality C, yep, BlackRock and Vanguard own everything and everyone. They have all the problems and solutions, yep. They create a problem, they wait for the reaction, and they already have the solution. They've done this for years. That's, yeah, just how it is. And order out of chaos. Dennis Beers said, thinking to Ingram on Fox, is you gender transistor, you reckon? Anne said, a money cat male calico is worth a fortune. And Darren said, what a rich person view. Feel above others by buying carbon offsets so your footprint is zero. How does anyone not see through this? That's exactly it, because that's all it's about. It's all about money. Hey, my brats, how you going? Oh, MRE, how you going? I didn't want to say it the other way in case people are thinking that I'm saying my breasts are exposed when they're not. My brats exposed. Brain Gerard said, hi all, they make up these programs to launder their dirty money. Yep. My brats exposed said, you read fast unlike me. Oh, I used to read really slow. But the more practice I get, the faster I'm getting. And sometimes I still trip over my words. A bit tongue-tied at times. Alex said, I found the video, they're beautiful cats. Leopard-like. Okay, so the catio video. So like a patio, but a catio. Dana said, Bill Gates is normalising mental illness. A self-induced mental illness, the legit condition gets no real look in. Well, I think social media is doing it too, to children. I really believe children shouldn't be on the internet. And it's funny because a few years ago, schools were starting to really push it, and every child had to have a computer, or a, iPad or something. And they were even giving them out here in Australia at one point to the children. Oh, it's insane. Dealey said, yes, Brian, money laundry. Dennis Biz said, carbon credits seem to be another fake exchange token that will make them rich. Certainly not us, just another enslavement fake coin. Exactly. And hey, Cynthia, how you going? Anne said, trust the cyans. Alex said, I never heard of catios until I saw that a couple of years ago. I think they're pretty cool. Anne said, dark chocolate has cadmium now. Selena said, I've known about Zantac problems for over a decade. It's a PPI which causes issues. The trail goes way back. I know that the doctors gave that to me. Thank you, Shannon. When I had stomach problems, I used to get severe heartburn, and I had digestive problems, and they give that to you because the pharmaceutical companies had walked in with their little suitcases beforehand and given them all the samples, and they go, oh, this hasn't been, this is a sample of, they're not out yet. You want to try it, And honestly, when you're sick and you've tried a whole lot of stuff, you will try anything to get better. Nearly anything, unless you know it's poison. Which years ago we didn't, because I trusted doctors like everybody else normally does. And then I was sick I've been sick since 2004, and it took me to ask for a medication from the doctor right before they banned everyone from getting it, the HCQ. And it started to fix me. So I had to do my own research, fix myself. And no doctor in, how many years has it been now? 19 years was able to recommend anything that would help me. I had to help myself. So there you go. That's why I no longer have that much faith in any medical people. Other than there's a couple that I know that are good. 8 degrees Celsius and raining at 4:33 p.m. Central, 46 degrees Fahrenheit, out to lunch. Oh, chilly. We've had a few cool days. I've had the heater on for the last 2 or 3 days because it's been quite chilly. And it's supposed to be summer still. We're coming to the end of it though. The end of February is the end of our summer here in Australia, so it'll go into autumn and then winter. What I should do actually is I'm going to do a video one day in autumn of a couple of streets where I live. And all you see is the beautiful colour change of the leaves and they cover the road, the trees. So in autumn, it is beautiful. Dennis Biss said, cayenne pepper apparently is a natural blood thinner. No need for aspirin neither. Oh, I was getting some, like, intense bruising just from knocking myself like I normally do. I walk into things sometimes or fling my arm out and knock it on something and get a slight bruise. But lately I've been getting, like, the bruise is massive and dark, and I'm wondering whether one of the medications also has some sort of blood thinning capacity. I don't know, you know, it'll either be the medication or the vitamins, and I don't know which one. Okay, Anne said women have prostates. Alex said, I think she says they are 4K each. I was gobsmacked. Anne said they're cold-blooded moles. I am Kai said active ingredient of aspirin comes from the willow tree shoot bark. There you go. Darren said, recently found out that lab-grown meat uses immortalised cells which never stop reproducing, just like cancer, and known to cause it. Yep. Yeah, I did a video on that the other day, Darren. Shannon said, aren't they saying eat dark chocolate to increase stem cell production? I don't know. Is that what it does? I like milk chocolate. I don't like dark chocolate. But I don't know. I might try it. The only dark chocolate I like is when it's around... Okay, let me show you. After dinner mints or after 8s, okay? They are a dark chocolate with mint inside them. They're a little square of chocolate, and they come in this little packet. We used to call them after dinner mints. They used to be called after dinner mints. Now they're called after 8. So after you have dinner, you eat one of them. It's like, you know, the mints they put on your pillow in some hotels or whatever. But, yeah, they're yummy. And that's dark chocolate. It's the only dark chocolate I'll eat. Okay. Shannon said, Vanguard and BlackRock are buying up companies that make either... Oh, really? That make that medication that doctor was talking about that helps with the coof. Anne said, I have shifty eyes when I told you these things. They're true. Look it up. We keep shifting. Women are turning into men mammals, shifting into reptiles, organs, planets moving around. I want to see it. I want to see someone shapeshift in front of me. Seriously, that's the only way I'm going to believe this reptilian stuff. Sorry. It's just me. I need to have, like, proof, you know? Like, I believe they are, like, snake-like people, as in they're sneaky and slimy. That's the powers that be, yeah. I am Kai said, I take my extra lead from bullets and pipes to the dome, thanks. Oh, no. Yeah, we're an upside-down world, definitely. Darren said, a long time ago they said we would never see snow again. I remember that. By 2000, the year 2000, we were supposed to never see snow again. I've seen snow here, and I'm in Australia. Ruff said, it's raining here in the desert this morning. Oh, good on you. Good on it. I mean, you need some rain over there in the desert there, Ruff. Dennis Biss said, vote for Bossy in New South Wales, get the cabal out. D-Lee said, I don't eat candies or chocolates normally, but lately for some reason I want some. I've gone the other way. I normally eat, I like chocolate and chips and things like that, but lately I have not really been eating. I'd rather have like an apple pie and custard than chocolate so much. And Alex asked Ruff if it's normal for it to rain out there in the desert. Out to lunch said, Alex, you see it, it's right side up, try it. If you see it, it's right side up, try it. Face said, what I understand with dark chocolate, 85% cocoa or greater is best. Yes, I've heard the higher percentage of cocoa is good. I am Kai said, climate above photography is changing. Shannon said, I just ate a packet of chocolate almonds. Ruff said, what is normal, Alex? Yeah. I heard years ago that they were trying to shoot a movie in the desert. They were going to use the Australian desert, but it was too green because it had started raining out there. And that was a few years ago. Anne said, I recall Vector's ME vid on lead and cadmium in Hershey's dark chocolate and was eating a piece of Hershey's dark chocolate. Then I thought of the Cadbury bunnies at Easter. Well, we don't know what's in our food, honestly. Alex said, we onto food already? Tummy grumbles. Oh, that's going to happen with me. If we talk about food, I'm going to have to finish early and go and eat. I am Kai said, the only constant is change and that never changes. D-Lee said, who really knows, but the highest percentage chocolate, the better. Yep. Out to lunch said, and our TVs work harder showing Australia videos because of them hanging upside down. Yeah, apparently I'm upside down here in Australia. Shannon said, Amazing Polly has done a couple of good ones on Jordan Peterson lately. Oh, really? I have to check it out. Like, I don't always agree with everyone, you know, like people like Jordan Peterson. There might be Joe Rogan. Sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't. Alex Jones. Who else? Oh, there's a few of them. Even Tim Pool. Sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't. Okay. Alex says, Google have wiped loads. I found they can take stuff off the Wayback Machine too. Really? Shannon said, and I couldn't find the gun. Out to lunch said, oh, they say they located the weapon though, so well, who knows? Oh, they have said now that they've located it, have they? I wonder where they located it. Because surely if it was within a few feet of him, they would have found it. Straight away, you'd think. Anne said Hershey was sued for damages levels too high, all dark chocolate. The ME hates us. It's probably not even true, it's just a thing here. Darren said any digital information can be edited and deleted. Yes. That's why look, I'd prefer paper. Honestly, printed paper. You can't rewrite it. Once it's there, written down, they can't rewrite it. Dennis Best says, Shannon, I saw those amazing Polly on Jordo Peterson. It's disappointing about Peterson's so many rude awakenings. Dark chocolate is good and lovely, very good for you, the one in high in cocoa. Yeah, that's exactly eyes, yep. Dealey said, Anna, do you notice how every holiday they always push candy and chocolate in copious amounts? Oh, yeah, Shannon. A plane load of people responsible for testing in Ohio has crashed. Where? Is it Arkansas or Arkansas? I am Kai said there's no such thing as coincidence. Yep. And thumbs it up all from Out to Lunch if you can. And sub if you haven't subbed, guys, please. Help me out here. Dennis Biz said, I still think they smuggled Epstein out. They could have. Darren said, everyone knows about Clinton's side, yet they walk free. Alex said, who needs enemies when you have friends like the Clintons? Exactly. Wouldn't you hate to be one of their friends? Or acquaintances. Out to Lunch said, Shannon, yeah, that's normal. Don't be a conspiracy theorist. I said, I'm sick of AI blocking my comments about chocolate. Oh, no. I am Kai said, correct. Guy on gurney had the wrong earlobes. Yeah, I remember that. Didn't look like Epstein. When you look at the ears, the face, it didn't look like him. Dealey said, yes, Shannon, a mile from the airport. Ruff said, Alex, apparently normal is what I'm not. Bloody sheeple have dingo and dogs. Oh. Shannon said, most plane crashes are deliberate. Yeah, 7 out of 10 plane crashes, not accidents. We were told that a few years ago. Alex said, eyes to see. Sorry, that made me laugh over chocolate. Yeah, if Google are starting to, like, censor you over chocolate, that's insane. Faye said, Dealey, and yet they said 15 minutes after takeoff, only travelled a mile in 15 minutes. Something doesn't add up. Wow. Out to lunch said, but not to the non-plebs, though, except JFK Jr. D-Lee said 5 people on the plane that had just been in Ohio investigating the derailment. Oh, I've jumped. Again. Okay, I'm just going to have to go from here. Sorry, guys. I've probably missed quite a few comments. Hey, Karen, how you doing? And Susie and Linda. I'm trying to get everyone, make sure I say hello to everyone. And hey, guys, if I haven't got your name, I'm sorry. My chat is jumping like crazy. It's weird. David said Obama in the basement means the same puppet master as before controlling Obama. Yep. Shannon said bargain basement Matt Damon. And Shannon reckons Matt Damon's a woman. Karen said the basement Biden is the photo of his daughter raising her dress up. What happened? What else happened in the basement with daughter? He showered with. Yep, they have it all. Exactly. Oh, thank you, Shannon. God love you. I am Kai. Oh, have a good one, I am Kai. And thank you again, Luna. That's beautiful. I'm just coming across the super chats in the chat now. Susie said, Hev, it was hilarious to see your cat, who in 3 years I've never seen, off your bed, take off like a shot when you brought out the drill. Yeah, and someone said the torque on the drill. See, I didn't even think of that. See, you need a man, because I wouldn't have even known anything about the torque on a drill. Now I'm going to have to go and ask my son to, do that. Fix it. I don't know. Or show me how. Ash said they'll get the cat to turn against him in court. Oh, Danny, how you going? Alex said Biden is the monster. They all are, Karen. I can't wait till the truth comes out. Yeah, I can't wait either. It's just insane. GLoff said all the major criminals running the world into the ground will be running to and hiding out in Astana, Kazakhstan. I remember hearing years ago that they all bought properties in New Zealand to try and get away from it down there. I don't know. Susie said, God bless and protect you too, Kai. Anne said, hey, look what the cat dragged in. Oh, that's just Jonesy. He stayed around the backyard when we took his house and cat. Oh, no. Darren said his cat is too contented to turn on him. Ash. Alex said, no excuse. Loads of people have been abused and don't turn into pedos like Hunter. Yeah, that's true. But a lot of people are feeling sorry for him because of his dad, But I think when you're 18, you know right from wrong. Like, when you grow up, you kind of know right from wrong. So if you continue to do the wrong thing, then that's on you, Luna said, Hev makes my weekend worth waking up because she puts me in a better vibe because I know I'm not alone in this wacky world. Definitely. Because it does feel like you're alone, like you're the only one who knows. And like there are people out there, but you've got to talk to them. And sometimes I talk to people, like I'll say something little to see if they're open to it, just talking about stuff. It doesn't matter if it's the cashier at the supermarket, the hardware store, the postman, the bloke who delivers wood. I found out the guy who delivers wood was awake because I started talking to him about it. Actually, 2 different companies that deliver wood up here are awake. Darren said, taking someone's cat is akin to kidnapping. I'm smoking myself out here. Did you hear my shoulder just crack? Wow. Alex said, Ash, Portuguese police actually made me do a dog line-up when I was attacked by a dog, so you never know. Really? And said there's a legal clause for cat testimony. Danny said, Darren, oh my gosh, Darren, I'll bet you are exactly right about the hunter's name. I must have missed some of the comments. Ruff Ruff said, you're a funny bunch. It's Hev's fault that we ever met. Yeah, it is. My fault. I'll take the blame. Am I missing some comments? What's going on? Oh, Alex said, I just got that. Oh, when I said hello to Mob Rats Exposed. The last time I said hello, people thought that I was saying my breasts exposed. And that's not what I was saying. That's okay. You'll never see them. Selena said, the 13 families that run the world. And there you go. And there's a link there. I said, Hev, agree, no children should be on the net. And what is it? Something Gates is long dead, 2014, 2015. I'm getting the tickle back in my throat. I've got to have a good cough. Hang on a sec. Not good enough. Darren said, if someone identifies as a dog and they attack you, can you have them put down for being a dangerous dog? Oh, I hope so. Shannon said, stop spelling pedo correctly, Alex. No one knows what you mean. Yeah, Alex, where's Muskrat? I hope she's okay. And Darren said she's probably being a menace. Alex. Susie said cannabis is best analgesic for pain. Yeah, I know, I've been self-medicating for years. Whoops. David said a pedo sounds like a cycling enthusiast. Pedo child. Yeah. That's exactly right. I'm just saying it short because of algorithms. Who knows what you can say anymore? I don't give a shit. Take me down then if I'm saying something wrong. For fuck's sake, I cannot censor myself that much. I said I cannot wait for all the wickedness and evil global elites to finally put to death. I'm still wondering who the first arrest will shock the world. Who is it? Alex said they put humans down, Darren. Check out a good death. They did this to my granddad, and they've been doing it in most hospitals. Cancer patients. Morphine them to death. This is my opinion, and from what I've seen of two of my friends, or a friend and her mum, who both had the big C, went to hospital and actually claimed while they were in there, get me out of here, they're giving me too much morphine. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, so I've had two people, and I do think that that's what they do. OD them. Darren said, I think they did that to my dad. Yeah, that's why I'm really wary, I'm telling you, of hospitals, doctors, you know. Other than the couple that I know that are okay, I won't go. The only reason I'll go to a doctor here is to get a prescription of something I already know that I need. Alex said, I take 1,000 milligrams of hemp oil every day and it's amazing. It's supposed to be good for you. Hemp oil, hemp seeds as well, apparently. Shannon said they do this in Canada even for children without parents' consent. Yeah, I've heard that. Isn't it the MAID Act or something? Darren said, I take 1 G of it every day and it's amazing too. Oh dear. I said, Alex, all the hospitals on the planet, including the N #S, have been hurting people for decades. Oh, yeah, the NHS. Yeah, they will. They'll be held to account. It's just a matter of when. You've got to wake all the normal people up first who don't even know this is going on, because once you've woken them up, then you can go further and explain more and more of what's happened. And that's exactly what we're seeing. It's exposure of everything they've always done slowly coming out bit by bit. That is exactly what we're seeing right now. Alex said, I think they've done it to thousands. I found out when I worked for the chemist that what it was all about. Didn't realise back in 2005, I thought it only happened in Switzerland. And hey, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Good to see you. Shannon said, I can't have them because I just end up eating them after dinner mints. Oh, yeah. No, I've had them for a month or two. Yeah, so that shows you how much chocolate I eat. And I've been giving one to my son every day after dinner as well. So just going out going, do you want an after dinner mint? He goes, yeah, why not? So, okay. Oh, Menacing Muskrat, you were working on a rig move. Wow. Shannon said, careful what you wish for, Hev. I know, but I'd have to see one in front of me to believe it. I know it's bad, right? But I can't believe in reptilians until I see one in front of me and able to poke the bloody thing. I don't want it to kill me. I want it dead, but I want to be able to see it, you know. D. Lee said, but is it really snow anymore? There's a lot of manipulation going on with it because, you know, weather wars, they do that kind of thing. They did it in Vietnam. Along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, they made it like monsoon. So we don't really know. I guess we'll find out when all of this stops. Darren said we get more snow since they said that. God will not be ignored. Exactly. Anne said song, blue, code, weeping willow, weeping like a willow, aspirin, sleeping on my pillow, deadly dark chocolate cadmium. Wow. David said, how can you even do that, Heather? You took an after 8 out of its jacket and didn't eat it. How does anyone even do that? Whoa. Self-control. I don't want chocolate all over my teeth when I'm trying to talk to you. You made me want to have it now. Delia said, hey, Muskrat. Alex said, rig for what? Rig for red. Rig for red. Shannon said, I know, right, David? Eyes to See said, doctors and nurses, including healthcare professionals, yeah, right on this planet. Yeah, if you've ever done anything wrong, well, you better watch yourself. Shannon said, Mad Max. Darren said, it's a crime, David, and she made us drool for after 8s. I said, stop talking about food. That is an order. Anne said, I only eat 8 because after that. Yeah, it's another thing I never used to do was eat chocolate in the morning. It's like, I don't know why. It was like drinking alcohol. Like I used to not drink alcohol until night time. I couldn't have any alcohol during the day, and even when I had alcohol at night, I would get very silly and then throw up. And it didn't matter how much I had. But anyway, with chocolate it was the same. It was like, no chocolate before like afternoon. It was really weird. I don't know. Maybe it was how I was brought up. Okay, where am I up to? Alex said, eyes, I had to go get something to eat. Shannon said, Heb's really going to like Amazing Polly. I do like Amazing Polly. Darren said, I too am unusually out of chocolate. David said, don't leave the after 8s on the table if I come to dinner. Menacing Muskrat said, Hev, love your chicken hutches. Yeah, they're only tiny though. So I can't even put like a perch in there for them to, you know how they roost? I can't even put one of them in there. So I'm thinking of like getting both hutches and somehow trying to join them together. I don't know how, but maybe even build a little, like a little, what do you call it? So they can walk through, like another little extension on it, so that I can join them together. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. See, I can't build anything permanent. I've seen people with sheds and some good, nice, big coops for their chickens, but I'm only renting, so I've got to be very careful and I've got to be able to move what I've got. So that just makes it harder. Yeah. So, They are good, like they're good for now, but eventually I'd like to give my chickens a nicer home. With me still, but somewhere else. Judy said I live right next to Hershey. Oh, that would be a problem for me, you see. Do they normally have shops in their factories that you can go and buy, like, the ones that aren't quite perfect from? Because that's what I'd be doing. I said, please don't talk about food or Hev will frig off, and that means I've wasted my time writing. Anne said I ate some after midnights and turned into a gremlin. Darren said, yes, David, better that she gives you the box on your way out. And thank you again, Luna. Did you? I think you super chatted again. Wow. Pat said, Hev, check out Too Strong on YouTube. I'll write that down. Too strong. Okay. Susie said, Alex, so I guess it won't help with chronic pain. Dealey said, last year I put a flame to a snowball that turned black and did not melt or produce any moisture. Yeah, I've seen people doing things like that. Susie said, chocolates for breakfast is very sophisticated. Okay, right. Okay. Ready? Then I've got to shut my mouth for a minute. Okay. Now I've got chocolate all in my teeth. Hang on. I've got to melt it off with a cup of tea. Goodness me. And I've got to light a candle for my cup of tea. For those who don't know, I have a stainless steel cup. And I can keep a cup of tea going for like, how many hours? 4 or 5 hours. Because I used to drink like 10 cups of tea a day. I'm Irish, so that's, you know, tea drinker. At least that's why I think I do it. And that's still all over my teeth. Yeah, I put my, the candle goes in here. And it has a circle on top. And I put my tea on top of that. And it keeps my cup of tea nice and hot for hours. So there you go. Just so people don't wonder what I'm doing lighting candles and things while I'm sitting here. I think I've got it all. I'm sure you'll let me know if I've got chocolate all over my teeth. Ruff said I like chocolate, that's why I stopped eating Cadbury's 15 years ago. Dealey said, Pat, I love Too Strong. Shannon said, no, the Jordan Peterson Amazing Polly episodes. Honestly, I've heard stuff about Jordan Peterson before. It doesn't worry me, Shannon. I'll still listen to it. I'll probably agree with her on some things too. I only think Jordan Peterson, that I've heard of lately, has come out and said some good things for, say, young men, you know. Honestly, that's what I think. But I don't know his full history or anything, so there you go. Okay. Alex said, people in the comments have said they have been able to come off their fibro meds as to help immensely with their pain. I'll have to check the label. I also smoke it. Darren said, that's a bit rough. I like dairy milk and cream eggs. Oh my goodness, those cream eggs. Even when I was younger, you know those Cadbury cream eggs they normally have around Easter time? And they got the white and the yellow inside, the gooey liquid stuff. Yeah, they were always a bit too sweet for me. Hey, Timmy, how you going? Hello, all. Have the issue with your bruising? Email me what meds or supplements you're on, and I'll gladly take a look for you. Taking supplements or meds at the same time can cause it. Okay, cool. Yeah, because, what was it? I think the cat, like, stuck a claw or bit me or something on there, and it turned into, like, a round, it was really dark bruise. And I thought, my goodness. And then I noticed a bruise on my leg was quite big and dark, and I don't even remember hitting my leg. Dennis Biz said, put the coos together side by side and drill a hole in the side so they can walk through. Kind of like that. I'm not sure if back to front, though. Like, I'm thinking back to front, maybe. I don't know. Alex said, hey, Timmy. How's your leg going, Timmy? Are you healing well? Where am I up to? Goodness me, I've jumped again, guys, in the comments. Alex said, I haven't seen Amazing Polly for ages now, but always thought she had great information and never got a bad vibe off her. Menacing Muskrat said, have you should name the turkey baster as in turkey baster. Where was the turkey when you put the second chicken hutch in the pen? The turkey's been trying to get in. He ran away from me when he seen me coming with the big thing. Look, I got it out the door. No problem. Well, a little bit of a problem. Had to try and lift the bloody thing. But yeah, I awkwardly got it out the door and into the chook shed. But when I walked out with it, yeah, the turkey was hanging around the outside of the cage and he just ran. Like, didn't know what was coming, so he ran. He always runs anyway. He doesn't come up to me. Like he does when I've got food in my hand, but he'll stay a certain distance from me. He won't come close. David said, Amazing Polly is for real. Yeah, she's on Rumble. Geoloff said, pro tip 2, when you find the video in your browser search, there is a feature that will pull video into the app and you can comment or share it. In the YouTube app, they de-amplify certain vids. Wow. Rashan said, the best thing Ilhan did was put Elliot Abrams on the hot seat. Deb said, I had to pop out and back. And Menacing Muskrats put the link for Amazing Polly in there. Excellent. Reality Seer said, I thought someone knocked on the door. I said, CIA, FBI, NHS, and H, hashtag S, I don't know what that one is. Will go out the bang once Yahweh releases his wrath and fury across America. It's been confirmed he's going to unleash it. TikTok. Deb said she's laughing, my breasts. Yeah, no one will ever see them, so don't worry about that. Menacing Muskrat said, second Amazing Polly. There you go, there's the second one. Danny said, groovy link. Menacing Muskrat, I keep up with Polly there on Rumble. And Shannon said, Deb's sneaking out and back in again. Feel like Homer. Alex said, I pronounce it, is it what? Pedo? And David said, correct pronunciation, Alex. Yeah, I just say pedo. I could call them rock spiders because that's what they call them here in Australia, or they used to. They used to call pedos rock spiders. Susie said, David, I just found him. The guy's called Simon Woods. Shannon said it's pronounced. I'm not saying that, Shannon. I said, Alex, sorry, honey, the end of age time is up and confirmed with the heavens, 100%. Once Yahweh gives the Father gives the orders, the babies and children saved Christ will be removed for you. Susie said, Alex, is it hemp oil with CBD in it? Alex said, I also like the pronunciation scum of the earth. You know the pronunciation I like best? Swamp scum. That's what these people are. These people in high power are nothing better than swamp scum. I said, Alex, I meant for Hev, sorry. Whoops. Darren said, or nonce for short. Yeah, apparently in England, that's what you call them, isn't it? Emma likes flowers. How you going? So happy the live's still on. Only for a little while now. I've got to go very soon. But look, I'm going to try and come back tomorrow on a live stream this time. I'm going to try and come back tomorrow morning for a live stream. Shannon said, Luna, how will you afford your honey trap? Okay, let's move down a bit. Luna said, Shannon, I use my hands. No need for traps, just my hands in a jar. Ruff said, I don't know what Cadbury makes, but I do know it's not chocolate. Menacing Muskrat said, at this time of the year, we're working 14, 16 hours a day. Every night is Friday night and every morning is Monday. Oh, Menacing Muskrat. God love ya. Emma likes flowers said, hey, Darren. Pat said, check out Too Strong on YouTube. Yep. Have I been through these ones? Have I jumped back and forward? I have. I'm back up where... where am I? Ruff said, now you have chooks look up YouTube water glazing eggs, hydrated lime. You'll be surprised. Really? Hang on a sec. I've got to get my little pad of paper and get a new page happening. Okay, what is it? Water glazing eggs. Okay, I got some really nice stuff for my chickens too. I got them some live mealworms the other day. Went in and dumped the little container out on the ground and watched the chickens all run around after these little live worm things. Okay, Susie said, if you take daily baby aspirin for your heart, you can end up with bad bruising. Yeah, I don't even take aspirin. So it must be something I'm taking. I am Kai said, keeps me from a wheelchair. A wheelchair too. Shannon said, yes, I was thinking, why would you build that in your room? Hope you measured the door. I knew it was going to fit out the door because I already made one the other week and I knew how wide it was. It was only as wide as the lid. Okay, well, long ways, right? I had to take it out long ways. I couldn't take it out sideways. I had to turn it and take it out that way. I said, so those from intel agencies and security services, their separate servers and backup generators will be knocked out and no engineer will be able to fix it. That would happen if if they let a nuclear above people, it'll send an EMP down towards the earth. D-Lee said, yes, I've seen that rough on keeping eggs fresh. I was amazed. Oh, wow, on keeping the eggs fresh. Susie said, CBD bath bombs are literally the bomb for relaxation and some pain control. Never tried that. Susie said, what do you guys think of Benjamin Fulford? I don't know who that is. Menacing Muskrat has shared a link. Arkansas plane crash. There you go. Is it Arkansas or... I am Kai said my T5 vertebra is shattered in 8 pieces. Ooh. I've got a couple of my, what do you call them? The discs are out in the back and the neck. Luna said, heading off to my day out hunting for honey will let you all know how I go. Definitely. But yeah, that... Your T5 vertebra being smashed in 8 pieces, I am Kai. Keep walking around, keep moving. I am Kai said, and every vertebra in my neck has at least one crack. Oh, geez, mate. Darren said, who's he, Muskrat? D-Lee said, have fun, Luna. Alex said, Shannon up to his old tricks again. He's trying to make me read something that I wouldn't say normally, right? Something rude. I said, the Lord Almighty's going to knock all technology out completely. Where nothing will work once the trumpets blow. Frankly, I cannot wait to go home and be with King Jesus. Menacing Muskrat said, Hev, can you thank Shannon for paying my late fee? Thank you, Shannon, for paying Menacing Muskrat's late fee. Alex said, getting Hev to read out naughty stuff. Yeah. Shannon said, I'm here, Muskie, you're welcome. Darren said, wow, you jumped loads. Did I? I'm sorry. Look, I can go on StreamYard where I can show the comments underneath, and we may not be able to see Twitter very clearly and the quality's not as good, or I'm on this one where the chat jumps and but I can get the live chat instead of the top chat, and I can't put the comments on screen. So I don't know, I think I'm near the end. Alex said, yay, extra live. Yeah, I'm going to try and come on live tomorrow morning, okay? Because I do have to cut it short very shortly, and so I'd like to come on and connect more with you guys tomorrow. God, Kai, what do they do for that? Surely they can take out broken pieces and replace it with something? I am Kai said, nice for Saturday. I am Kai said, Susie, spinal fusion, but mine are too brittle now. Oh, wow. Menacing Muskrat said, Danny Richards, too amazing Polly. Does deep dives, incredible. Yep. Shannon said, drag marks on the floor like you were dragging a corpse. Deb said, dark chocolate is much better. I've heard that. Dark chocolate is the best for you, apparently. I am Kai said, I've been shot once, stabbed twice, one in the head, every broken rib, hands, arm, shoulder, left hip, so on. Oh, my goodness. Kai, wow. Shannon says, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I said, Hev, the deep state of EMP technology. Yeah, no, just wait till the Lord does his EMP strike. It's coming. I'm excited, believe it or not. Yeah, well, I can't wait till it just all goes down. I know it's coming, and anticipation's driving me nuts. Okay. Not really. I can handle it, but geez, wouldn't it be nice just to, you know? And it's going to be scary for people. It's going to scare the shit out of people. I am Kai said, a couple of days ago, had a dream an old lady questioned me in the end. I'll outlive everyone I know. Well done, Kai. You just keep going, mate. Dealey said, Kai, at least you have loads of interesting stories to tell. Yeah. I am Kai said, Shannon, I was a high scorer. Susie said, Kai, I have 2 compressions in my spine causing a pinched nerve in my arm. It's agony sometimes and I seldom sleep, but you have me beat, buddy. I'm sorry. Does that help? Does the weed help a little? Deb said, are you hungry yet, Hev? Yes, my stomach's starting to... It hasn't actually made a huge noise yet, but maybe because I ate that chocolate. I'm Kai said, Dealey, not really. I was an ass hat. Shannon said, lol, you should see the other guy. Susie said, we love you, Hev. Oh, God, love you. I said, Hev, I will email you after the live. It's the truth. Yep, that's okay. Geoloff said, great show, love. I am Kai said, there are no others. Geoloff said, great chat, everyone. Dealey said, Susie, get an inversion table. I am Kai said, I'm the last of that crowd. Alex said, Kai earned his warrior badge. Yes, definitely. And I am Kai said, Alex, foot in ass badge. Susie said, we need med beds for our dear Kai. Stat. Yes, we do. Yes, definitely. Sherry said, we'll call it water glazing eggs here or water glassing. Shannon says, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Iron Kai. He's made of iron. He's an Iron Man. Geoloff said, love and care for each other till we meet again. Menacing Muskrat said, I'll be working, so enjoy your chat tomorrow morning. I'll catch up soon. Much Muskrat love. You too, Menacing Muskrat. I am Kai said, I would like less pain, but I'll live a very long time. It's penance. Dealey said, that's a weird name, water glassing. Alex said, I just went crazy on a jumbo bag of cheese puffs, Cheetos. Whoops. I do. You know, have you got cheese and bacon balls over there? Oh, my God. I have a problem. Don't put cheese and bacon balls in front of me. Oh my, and they're Cheetos. They're made by Cheetos. I am Kai said, look at my wedding photos. I was old then. Shannon said, you could move to Canada, Kai. Darren said, technology is great, but unless we have real-world systems as backup, our civilization can be ended at any time. David Morgan said, I have an inversion table. It does help on bad days. Dealey said, take care, Muskrat, much love. Emma Likes Flowers said, I am Kai. Same, only the good die young. I am Kai said, I hang from the shop rafters sometimes. Oh, that feels good sometimes to hang from something, either by your arms or your legs, and stretch yourself out. Oh, seriously. Alex said, see you soon, Muskrat. I am Kai said, Emma's correct, and Alex said, they sound yummy. Yeah, they're cheese and bacon balls. So they're made by Cheetos. But they're little balls, and they're cheese and bacon. Oh, my God. And it's bad because you know it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, they've made the flavour. It's not real flavour. So you kind of like, what did they make it from? David said, I used to hang upside down from a tree before I got the inversion table. Yeah, you do it by the back of your knees. You put your legs over something and you hang from it. Unless you get those boots that they can hang you up. But then you need someone to get you back down. You don't want to be hanging there too long or you'll get blood rushed to your head. Darren said, so how old do you have to be bad? I am Kai said, actually my last seizure I died for a few, scared a nurse crapless. Oh, just keep going, I am Kai. Yep, stay with us. Alex said, I remember when I was doing the workout, Insanity and Stretch Week was the best after all that hard workout. Oh, the stretches are the best at the end of a workout. It's like, oh, right, we're slowing down now. Dealey said, that's what the inversion table does, hang up by your ankles and stretch the spine. Oh. Susie said, I love the jalapeno Cheetos. We don't get them ones. Oh, no, hang on, they do have a hot version. It could be the jalapeno. Menacing Muskrat said, I love Cheetos. Alex said, oh, yum, Susie, I love jalapenos. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to go. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll try and come back tomorrow around the same time. If not, maybe an hour later, sorry. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye. Which one am I doing? Outro.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going live. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.